or play
We
cards.
have here, this is going to be a full game. It's going to be a Lazarus comp versus another Goliath. This Goliath wasn't that great, but this is more like an upload of how quickly a Lazarus comp can really get on top of a monster and make things happen when the monster goes into like a pretty rough position. So monster left tracks and went straight to the beach right away, which is something I don't think any monster should ever do in weather control. I think monsters that go down to the beach are guaranteeing a dome and will possibly die because of the sightlines hunters can take advantage of. So like right here, you can see Ducky can boost someone all the way down at the edge of the beach with Sunny's jetpack boost. But Ducky doesn't have to move down at all. He can stay in the strong position and nuke launch or jetpack boost. But because people start going around buildings and stuff, Ducky repositions to put the shield drone down where it can help people. And I'm just sort of peppering the monster with a couple of weak points off the start. But now that Swift and Tom are starting to both take damage, I felt like it was a good time to come in as Lazarus and heal burst real quick, because the monster's already in the health. And so even if the monster came aggressive on Lazarus, the shield drone was in place, Sunny had a good vantage point, so I felt confident enough that I would be protected and be able to get out. And at the very least, I'd have the whole squad there to do damage. But because Lazarus heal burst comes up in 15 seconds, I like sometimes in a strong position on stage 1 monsters to maneuver around fights and keep helping people stay healed so they can be as aggressive as they need to be. Or I can be there to do a quick res right as someone falls. So because we've got Abe, we've got some extreme dart pressure going on the monster, and we know exactly where he's going. Monster, for whatever reason, decided to come back into us. He knocked me down, and because we weren't very well set up, I cloaked right there as a repositioning tool. And I was around enough teammates that the monster couldn't risk staying there to try and aggress me down without getting an extreme punish for it. And so right here, the monster is going off again, and we see Swift running ahead. Healing burst was up, and Sunny's like usually the one person in our comp who doesn't take health regen if we feel like we need it for when we're running around. And so I typically will make sure Sunny's healed before we enter a fight. Monster's gonna end up dying here in this dome. This is the second stage 1 dome. He hasn't really gotten any armor, hasn't really broken away from us at all. And he's just gonna go down here. Ducky uses Sunny really well, so like whenever the trapper starts getting aggressed on, Sunny will usually reflexively jetpack boost them so they can get out of a corner. My positioning could probably be a lot better for this. Like there's a perch I could probably go sit on. But at this point I figure this is pretty much over. The shield drone's in place, Sunny's watching us, and I'm just kind of just coasting this one out. But yeah, I really like Abe inside of a Lazarus comp because of the spread of his shotgun. I think it gives Abe a better chance of spreading out his damage for that. And yeah, the game goes pretty quickly for us because Monster made a really poor decision off the start, and we pounced right on top of it and punished the monster for it, and then didn't really let him escape after that. And that's basically how I want to see Lazarus comps played more often, is that when you get sign of the monster, you go after the monster with extreme calculated aggression so that you can tilt the game into your favor, so that Lazarus isn't pressured to revive multiple people against a very strong stage 2 or 3 monster. And thanks for watching.